So this is the making of De Oppresso Liber, the music video from Sothis. I am Drogoth, the vocalist for Sothis, and I also did the visual effects and animation for the video. This is Joe Suarez, the director of the video, and we're here to talk about the whole process of what it took to make De Oppresso Liber.
I guess we'll start, with the initial beginnings, the early beginnings with the band and all that stuff.
So when we released the album De Oppresso Liber, we knew we wanted to make a music video for it, and Joe's a buddy of mine. We've been friends for years, and he wanted to be on board. So so basically, from here, what we wanted to do was we wanted to start to pin down the location of where we'd shoot the live performance footage, and so we weren't even nailed down on concept yet when we started to look for locations.
Correct.
So Joe took us to a bunch of different places downtown.
So the idea was we were going to build a concept. I guess was initially the idea to build a concept out of maybe a cool location. If we got to a location and got inspired, we could come up with a cool idea and somehow incorporate this album artwork of these demons and angels. And initially we found the first location that we really liked was at DC Stages here in downtown LA.
So DC Stages was a place that had several different kinds of sets. They had the courtroom set, and they had like a fake train station.
And a library.
But they had that train station where it was like the big...
It was marble and columns, and so we started, really wanting to go to DC and shoot there. It wasn't working for us budgetarily to shoot there.
But later that day, we saw City Hall as well.
But later that day, I made a call, and we went and got a tour of City Hall. So, in essence, we had our location, and we locked it. And I think, and I wrote a formal treatment for the band, and I sent it to Drogoth and the rest of the band, and everybody looked at it, and Dross looked at it, and we all agreed this was going to be our idea for our video. And
so basically at this point we've now got our location set. We knew everything we wanted to do. We had our idea focused down. So now it just sort of came down to the nuts and bolts to discuss how we were going to do everything. So
my friend Jeff Coatney, who's an amazing storyboard artist, he's done storyboards for a lot of the films I've worked on in the past. And so I did some great storyboards with my friend Jeff. He came over one night and did some excellent storyboards. I just told him what I wanted, and we even storyboarded a little bit of the band performance so that the band could get the idea of the shots that I was planning on doing.
So from there, we basically had to come up with how are we going to get our characters coming to life in these paintings, right?
And then the wires came up, and the fans blowing their hair
and all that stuff.
Shooting them in a green screen, shooting them in a green screen room and all that. And then something weird happened. I started. Drogoth and I had seen the movie 300, and we're both big fans of the movie. And the Oracle scene in that movie I thought was really impressive. When I saw the movie, it really impressed me. One night I'm just, lying in bed, and I started thinking about that Oracle scene, going how amazing it was. And I started looking up I right away got out of bed, and I went on the internet and started looking at underwater photography. This is the way we're gonna, get these angels to do something on a budget.
Yeah, so once we had the concept nailed down, once we knew how we were going to shoot our angels and demons, it was time for casting. So for our main character, our main demon, I had just gotten an email from my friend Nathan, who's the model for the album cover, and he wrote back saying, "Dude, I want to do it, so I'll fly out and do it for you." So that was easy. We got him for free, and it would match the album cover because it's the same guy. And so from there, we just needed the two females and the angel and the female demon.
And I said, I want Alex definitely to be the female demon. And I talked to Alex, and she was totally down, ready to go. We looked at a bunch of girls, and we found Kelly. We just liked her photo. She had surfing experience and a lot of underwater experience. So the next point, we were ready to shoot. We hired, I got a whole crew together, and I got Oscar Lobo, who's an amazing cinematographer. I think one thing that was really key with hiring him was that he had done a lot of underwater stuff. He's a surfer as well. He's a scuba diver, loves shooting underwater. And we were on our way, and then we came to day one of shooting. It was a beautiful Saturday afternoon, and so we got a green screen, a waterproof green screen that we put in the pool. I hired Tanner Gill, who's a good friend of mine too, a stunt coordinator, and he brought the wetsuits and underwater, the oxygen tanks and the masks and the whole thing, because the pool was fucking cold. It was really the coldest pool I've ever been in, and I felt so bad because our actors had to perform in these horrible temperatures, and I had a wetsuit on. It was still freezing, and luckily they had a hot tub at the house too, so in between takes we'd go and chill in the hot tub. But essentially, Oscar and I put on our wetsuits, and we got in there, and we started shooting. We shot for 7 hours. The other thing was that Kelly was very light, so she'd float to the surface every time we tried to bring her in, and we had a problem with that. So Tanner, who was the stunt coordinator, he also had gear on. He would go And as soon as we were ready to roll, he'd yank her by the ankle all the way down so we can at least get like 5 to 10 seconds worth of footage. And then when we were done with her, Nathan came in and he just sank like a rock.
He's like no body fat.
That guy is just pure muscle. He's huge.
Things, yeah.
There's a great makeup effects company here in LA, Jason Collins and his crew. They sent some guys over and they did a fantastic job with teeth, and we had horns, and the hair was fake on Nathan and all that stuff.
They also did body makeup. Nathan had
dirt.
like just sort of grime and dirt.
Yeah, that was the first day of shooting underwater, and it went. I was very nervous at first. The first few hours weren't going well, and then it all just fell into place once we were all comfortable with the situation and comfortable in the water, and the camera was working fine. Everything just went great, and we shot hours. I got hours, 3 hours worth of underwater footage of them.
I look kind of spastic though. What? You like?